Welcome, everybody, to our next edition of Two Girls, One Rant, where we continue our Around the World series. Today, we obviously have Germany with a very special guest. We've got Rudi on here. This is going to be wonderful. And we've got our wonderful co-host here as well, Destiny. So we're going to switch over there and hop right into Discord. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hi. All right, so we got Bobo with us today. Like I said, we are doing our Around the World series. And Bobo, I hope I have the correct flag. I don't want to be one of those ignorant Americans.
Yeah, that's actually wrong.
Is it wrong?
That's the
You're
Belgian
so
flag.
you're so ignorant, Mel.
Is it actually the wrong flag?
Yeah, it is. No, it's not. It's
Well, I
fine.
was going to change it like ASAP.
No, it's good.
Well, because I know Americans can really be ignorant about other countries and everything. So I try to make sure I've got the correct representation up there.
No, it is the German flag. How's my audio though? Is it fine? Because I'm like just laying back and shit.
Oh, yeah, your audio is fine. And I can also adjust it on my end as well. So you are very good to go.
Good, fine.
All right, so we'll start off with a really simple question for you. So you speak English like really, really well. Is it common for English to be learned like fluently over in Germany?
I still don't think that I speak English very well though. I'm trying to hide my accent a bit.
Don't
but-
never hide the accent. Never.
because as a German, when you hear a Germans talking English, right? Especially when they're coming from the south part of Germany, you always sit there and think, "Oh, Jesus Christ, stop talking, please,
No.
stop talking." Because especially when they come from the south, it's like they always talking like a little bit harsh in the English language. And no, it's So English, you learn it at least in my day and age, when you're coming out of the Grundschule, that's the like elementary school, you right away learn it. You have to learn it. It's mandatory to learn it, and then you also have to choose another one, like
Another
French or maybe Spanish or Danish or wherever you are in the part of
Okay, because like
Okay.
normally they have it suggested like, we have to take like one semester of a foreign language. And I mean, that's not even enough to get fluent. I think after 3
Yeah.
semesters of trying to learn Spanish, I could read at a 3rd grade level. After that, you're like, no.
No,
But-
in Germany, let's say if you are at the middle school, let's say it's like from the 5th grade towards the 10th grade, you have to learn it every freaking year there. So there's no like only do it like for one semester or whatever. No, it's like 5 years straight.
Oh, that's quite a bit. Well, and obviously you get everyday usage of it as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I actually started out liking it, really, and then I started to watch movies in English because I hated that the Germans need to dub every movie, every TV show, and it just sounds like shit because so much getting lost in translation, and I also didn't like some voices they put over some certain dudes or other stuff, and that's why I started actually watching it in English. That helped out a lot.
Well, it is turning into the universal language. And no, the reason I ask as well is because in America, obviously, we grew up speaking this. And in truth, you do speak English better than some other people where that's their only language. I'm just going to be honest.
I cannot believe that though, but yeah, maybe.
But a lot of Americans, they're not fluent. They're not bilingual at the least. And, I would consider you the way, because you can hold full conversations. Like, even if you're not well versed in like every single word in the English language, you're still enough to be considered bilingual.
Yeah, see, that's the thing though. When it comes to like, let's say, medical terms or like special words for a part of an engine that has a special term or whatever, maybe I don't know that.
Well,
But
hell, I don't even know that.
it's, but other things, so I think I can follow and keep up though. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you can keep up and follow really well. I mean, you do it on a daily basis. Every time you're on and streaming in NoPixel, so
I am try.
Well, you do a very good job. I just wanted to say that. So one of the things I usually start off with is I kind of get an idea of your world perspective. So like how big of obviously don't say where you live, but like how big of a town or a village do you live in?
Oh, my village is actually not that big. I'm living in a like smallish town. Like let's say, I will not say a correct number now, but let's say close to 15,000. That's it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's about the size of town. And so for Germany, is that considered like a small town?
Yes, yes. It's small townish, bigger village. But we also have like really like small villages that have only like 50 people in it or something. They are really really out there. Then.
Sounds like the northern part of my state. There's a lot of unincorporated towns, so they don't have like a town hall or anything. They're just kind of recognized as a place, and
Yeah,
that can be from like just a couple hundred.
yeah, it's just there. And it has
Right.
it has a name, but nobody knows about it though.
All right. Well, Destiny, what do you want to? I know you've got a lot of questions. Do you want to start us off with the next one?
First of all, how dare you assume that I have 1,000 questions? But I do.
Basically,
So
'cause
my
you said you did.
yeah, I like to reveal everything that I have plans for. I am curious about the tourism regarding Americans kind of visiting the country because you guys kind of grow up learning English, whereas people, I assume, I've never visited Europe or anywhere across the seas. But I assume that Americans come over and barely can speak English. Is that something that um, annoys typical Germans out there, where they're like, you come over here and then you're not really learning the language, but you're, trying to communicate with us? Is that a difficult thing, or is it easy because you guys already pretty much know English for the most part?
I would say annoy. If so, then more the older generation that are in their 70s maybe or 80s now that maybe don't speak English. But with everything after World War II and stuff like that, pretty much everyone learned like basic English so that we can have a like hand to feet conversation if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess
Um,
personally, I would hate to visit a country if I didn't know like the basics of the language. But I know there's a lot of people that go out there and just assume they'll be fine. And I know they've got to run into some sort of blocks out there because I know not everybody can speak fluent English. It's not
no.
their first language.
Yeah.
But I know that like in France, they get very upset because people visit and they don't know how to speak French, and not everyone knows how to speak English. I was just curious if it was kind of the same situation there in Germany.
The French people are really, really blunt with that. Actually, not only to Americans, also to other people. The French are a special breed. let's just
To say
let's
the
just put it-
least.
They're so special.
No, listen. I don't want to say anything bad, of course, but yes, they. I don't know actually how it is in your friends. If they are, if it is mandatory to learn English, I don't think so. So I actually meet a lot of French people that don't speak English.
Nice. I assumed I know a couple people in France. You got one of them who's like, if they can't speak or speak French, you can't expect them to learn an entire language before coming here, which is fine.
Yeah.
But then you have the other one where they're like, well, if you can't speak the language, you can't get upset when you can't figure out where you're going because we
True.
can't help you.
I
I was
mean,
just curious.
I think that works. That works for every country out there. I think
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. Even if you, let's say, if I were to want to live in France now, or if I want to live in Spain now, then I, as a person, I mean, I project it to my self, of course, but I would say it's mandatory to learn the language to be fully integrated in that life there. You know what I mean?
Learn German before going to Germany. Got it.
No, most of the people speak English, and the younger generation now, I don't think they will. They they don't will be okay.
And does it
That's
just boil down to as long as you're being respectful?
yes, yes.
Gotcha. I think that would be the same no matter where you go. Because, like, here, I mean, America is like this giant melting pot anyway. So, of course, we've got people where, especially in my town, because my town is approximately the same size as yours, Bobo. But the difference is we have a huge clinic system whose headquarters is here. So we have doctors from all over the world. So I'm constantly used to hearing that. And we have a lot of Amish around here, which, of course, their language is German. So I'm tempted to.
I think it's called. If I don't want to lie here now, but I think a lot of Amish people speak Plattdeutsch. It's called.
Is it a derivative of it?
Yeah, it's like an accent. So not every German is not. How can I put that? So if I would talk German in my area, it sounds completely different as if I would speak German in let's say Bavaria. So
okay.
But there's a common German. It's called Hochdeutsch, high German, and then every little district or every little corner has its own tongue there also,
I wonder if I should start learning German just so when I go to the store I can understand what they're saying, because they speak English too, but I've heard with some of the different sects that are around here that they don't start learning English until they're like 12 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're very isolated communities. But the Mennonites came over, God knows how long ago. And so I'm sure there's, just as the English language in America split off from the Britain version of English, we obviously have a lot of different words for things now.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if that might be along the same thing there.
Yeah, there is. There's but it's all like tongue and slang. If you want to put it this.
I'm sure that's probably the same here in the States. We've got the northern people, well, especially over in New York City, have specific slang. Like the word "dead ass" is literally a word. Dead ass means like for real, basically. That's factual. Dead ass. And then you go to the South. You go in the South and you're like, what the fuck is dead ass? And then you go over to the Midwest. I don't know what kind of maybe slang terms you guys got, Mel, but they've got their own stuff. So I get that.
Forget about it, right?
That'd be an East Coast.
Forget about it.
And then we go to California where they're all nuts. So, I mean.
And high. All the time.
I wish.
I mean, I watched a lot of Joe Rogan, and I think my opinion on California is biased as fuck, though. Because I never visited. I only always hear Joe Rogan talking about California, and he thinks it's a melting pot for idiots. Sorry that I say this now, but I'm just saying what he said. Okay.
Well, I don't know. Ferret has lived there at one point. Ferret is he accurate on this statement? Okay, so there you go.
Yes. Okay.
I've never been out there. The furthest out west I've ever been was to the Rocky Mountains. And I went up to Pikes Peak. That's the furthest west I have ever been. So,
I'm not. Again, I'm not saying that I was just regurgitating stuff that I heard.
That's a good question. Have you been to the United States?
No, I have not. I always wanted to, but I've never been.
Well, if you ever do get the chance to visit, where would you want to go?
I don't know. To be honest, I actually don't want to go to like the typical tourist places, because that's not where I would see how the country is. I would want to go. I would like to go a bit off the path, just meet people,
That's exactly how I feel when I go traveling to any place. I never try to go to the main cities. I want to go into the smaller communities and maybe hit up like some museums and learn about like the backgrounds and stuff. Don't ever visit New York City. I don't live there myself, but it's just you go there and it's touristy. You'll see a lot of tourist stuff, but you'll see it's the dirtiest city. I swear to God.
See, if you go to those tourist places, then you always just see people that smile in your face because they make a living out of it, and you never see the true area. I think so. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, Jeannie says you're gonna go visit all your MC members.
that for sure, though.
Well, I mean, if you come to the States, it's only a quick hop over the border to go see Reed. So, I mean.
Oh God, no.
There's something that I heard.
That.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
I was just gonna say, so the difference, obviously, going back to Germany, there's something that I did read regarding shops. Are shops actually all closed on Sundays in Germany, or is that just like a misconception?
They are not forced to be open. Yes. So let's just say like 10 years ago or so, let's say 15 years maybe, every shop in Germany was closed on Sunday. Yes, because Sunday was just the day you spent with your family, or just relaxing, or just do nothing, be home and just have a day off. Then they lifted that because it was actually not allowed to be open. There was one day where everything needed to be closed to just have an assured that people get a day off. And now it's actually lifted, and like grocery stores, supermarkets, whatever, can decide on their own if they want to have open or not.
So, is there a better balance between work and home life then?
What do you mean in comparison to what?
Well, in comparison, I guess in comparison to the States, because I mean, everybody, your 40-hour week. A lot of big places like your grocery stores will be open, and gas stations will be open 24/7.
Okay.
You're working 40 plus hours a week. Not a lot in the way of vacation time or holiday time.
I think off time is important. You need to have time for yourself. You need to have time for your family, loved ones, friends, and stuff like that. Because if you don't have that, over time you will just get drunk. Sorry if I just put it that stupidly, but if you don't take time for your yourself, and your company don't give time for yourself, you will just don't go to work. The same attitude as if you have a good time there. You know what I mean? So I think it's important to have time for yourself, to be an asset for your boss or whatever.
That sounds good, because it sounds like people over in Germany take vacation seriously, where most of us, and not including myself because my company's based in Greece, but most of the companies here, especially that I've worked for in the past, don't take vacation seriously. You have to get it approved. Typically, it's a difficult task, especially when someone works in retail or some sort of big company. It's almost nearly impossible to take a long vacation. So people will just take days off, it's not good for mental health. A lot of people here are working 60, sometimes even 70 work hours a week. So that's good to know.
I don't know how the laws changed in the last couple of years in Germany, but I know it's mandatory in Germany that you have long. So the normal German, let's say the normal German worker has, in the summer month or the late summer month or early, has like 2 to 4 weeks like straight off, like where they just can go on vacation or just stay at home and whatsoever. Then also comes the Christmas time, where it's most likely a week or two, and that's actually mandatory, and it was enforced by law actually, that your boss has to give you this time off. If he doesn't do that, it's getting in trouble.
Fuck, I'm moving to Germany.
Wait, you said 2 weeks?
2 to 4, yeah.
What? We get like a day off.
Okay, so to give you a little perspective, Bobo, here you're lucky to get 2 to 3 weeks of vacation to use per year, and that is also for your sick days. So let's say
ghetto, I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you get for the entire year. And in some places, it's hard to even take a whole week off of work. So what some people will do is they'll latch it onto a holiday weekend. So, we'll have our Thanksgiving coming up at the end of November, and then we have Black Friday. Now, not everybody gets Black Friday off, but they'll have Thanksgiving is always a Thursday. So they'll take that Black Friday off right afterwards, and then maybe tack a Monday and Tuesday after the weekend as well to give themselves a long weekend. But yeah, and so that's what I was meaning by like work and life balance, because we have our crazy hours during the week, but taking time off to actually relax. Like, let's say you have an appointment that's going to take up half your day. Well, there goes 4 hours of your vacation for the week for what you've got to take. Or a kid is sick at home. Well, there you go. You have to lose another day of your vacation to take care of a sick kid.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna fly here. So we have by law. I just looked it up. By law, you have 24 work days that you can take in one big swoop. So you can have actually a vacation. You can fly somewhere, or you can have just a good time. But that is work days. That does not include the Sunday. So it's not 24, then it's 27 days then. Yeah. It's 27 days that you can have off on your to have a vacation.
I think we're all moving to Germany now.
I'm gonna cry myself to sleep tonight.
Yeah, there really isn't much of a focus on like your mental health or burnout or anything. It's just, here's what you get to use, whether it's sick, personal, or emergency, and just deal with it.
Yeah, that's not how it works here. If in Germany, if you're sick, you go to the doctor. The doctor gives you what we in Germany call a gelbe Zettel. This yellow paper is gelbe Zettel means yellow paper. That just means your doctor is actually giving you your boss the acknowledgement that you were at the doctor's, and the doctor see, oh yeah, he's really sick. He needs to stay home.
And they're not penalized?
No.
Oh my god.
If you're sick, then your doctor gives that paper to your boss. Your boss sees, oh yeah, he's sick, and you just stay at home then.
Oh, I almost forgot. So working retail as well, we have what's called blackout periods. I don't work in retail anymore, obviously, for these reasons. But basically for the Thanksgiving holidays, and even Christmas, typically companies won't let anybody take off time at all, or you get fired for those periods. It's crazy. It's crazy because we also, I wasn't in that podcast, but Mel, you did one with, who was it? The person from England?
Oh, Gary.
So you did one with Gary, and Gary basically said the same thing, where it was like, they try to be respectful of like the holidays and stuff, compared to America, where they're like work.
Yeah, no. So in Germany, it's typically this way. If you have a family, if you have children and a wife, or in the husband, or whatsoever, you most likely getting more days off, especially like Christmas time, Easter, and all this stuff like that, because they know you just want to spend time off with family, and everyone knows that, and nobody has a problem with that. Me as a single, I don't have a problem with my coworker that has a husband and 2 kids that she wants to spend some quality time with, so I just work these days. And
that is excellent, because I mean, and I remember those periods because I worked in retail for about 6 years through high school and college, and there were times, because we're such a majorly consumer-based culture, where it's, you work your butts off, and now you have to spend your money on all these items that you may or may not use, and it sounds like it's not quite the same over there.
Maybe, yeah. I'm actually pretty like, I did not know that you have to spend your holidays for like sick days and stuff like that. I'm kind of struck because it's not your fault if you're getting sick, right? So how can they take that from your holiday?
Well, right. But it's the companies. America actually has, I don't have it in front of me, but America has a lot of very loose laws as far as what they're required to give to you. Um, the minimum, I don't know what the minimum is, but the minimum is so low, like maybe a week. And they can roll your sick leave into that as well. So let's say you're somebody who has a chronic illness. Let's say you have an autoimmune disease. And sometimes you'll just get super sick, especially in the winter when you've got all these colds and flus running around.
Yeah.
You know, they do have the Family Medical Leave Act, FMLA, which will protect you from getting fired if you're sick for extensive periods of time or intermittently. But even then, like, you don't get the time to really spend and relax or go on holiday. I mean, out of all the developed countries, we're one of the worst when it comes to a work-life balance, a work and home balance.
Okay. So I was just looking it up again. It's not only that you have those days; it's also an age thing here in Germany. So if you are, let me see this. Let me see the German here. So if you hit you from your, like, let's say 20s to the 30s, you have 27 days, like I said before. If you're 40, you have 28. At 50, you have 29, and at 60, you have 30 days. That they it's also a bit more on the age, you know, because we all know if you're getting older, you maybe need 1 or 2 days more. 1 days more.
There, we have a grocery store right down the street from me, and there is a 75-year-old man who is bagging people's groceries because he can't afford to be on like the Medicaid and all that kind of stuff, all the medical assistance that he can get from the government.
And
he's having to work when he's in his 70s. Poor thing. It's mind-boggling how terrible this is basically just a wake-up call for us Americans when we speak to somebody in another country and how things work, where we're like, man, this place sucks.
I mean, don't get me wrong, every country has its own things that does not work out, right? Germany is, but not by any means perfect. No, it is not. There is poverty here also, but nobody needs to be hungry and nobody needs to be homeless. If you see a homeless man in Germany or a homeless woman, they don't need to be homeless. There's shelters they can go to. The city also provides them with a little apartment. Most of those people choose that because maybe they are ashamed. There's maybe a stigma to it, just to go to a place where they can get that help that they actually need, you know. But nobody needs to be hungry or without a roof.
No, I completely agree. Like, no country is 100% perfect, but in comparing notes between different countries, like, America's really screwed up.
Yeah, I cannot and will not judge that because I was never there. I only see what the media is portraying, and I don't believe that. I don't believe the media. Sorry, but I'm just we're living in a day and age where you cannot believe what they are saying to you. But that's just
true. Because they spin it to get that wow and that shock factor. But now Mr. T is asking though, as going back to the time off of work. Now, do some companies go over the minimum of what is required?
Oh yeah, like a lot. I was before I worked for the city. I worked for an organization that helped young adults, and I had way more than those 27 days. I had like close to 6 weeks in the summer where I was off, and like 3 to 4 weeks in the winter time where they gave me some time.
Yeah, because we do have assistance programs and shelters and everything here as well, but again, there is also that stigma. And I think that stigma might be even more, but there are some good shelters around depending on where you live that really do try to help you get back on your feet, you know, try to get some reemployment programs going on, brush up your skills, try to help find you a job. But the government funding for those places is seriously lacking. And so there's some that just will live on the street regardless. Because sometimes they're better off, because the system is just so underfunded and in a sense broken.
The funding over here in Germany is also not the best. But it is at a point where, like I said, you don't need to be hungry. You don't need to be on the streets. You can have a roof over your head, and also your medical bills are getting paid. You don't pay anything there. So it's just because I also work in that field. I know that some people just don't want the help. They either like it on the there's actually just some people that like to be, in quotation mark, free. You know what I mean? They don't want to have anyone to tell them anything. They just want to live their life and do whatever they want, even if that means they sleep on the street or need to beg for some food. But yeah, nobody needs to.
I'm sure there's a lot of that everywhere, no matter which country you're from.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to a funnier topic. Although I do appreciate all the information there, because I like getting the perspectives of what's going on in the world we all share. All right, so I have to ask David Hasselhoff. I hear he is an icon over there, but I also
he's a national hero.
He's a national hero. Why is he a national hero?
It comes from a very special time. And I guess you need to understand why it's the thing. So when Germany was still divided from East and West, East Germany was very much under the boot of communism. You know? Nobody could do anything without being spied on or without being like snitched on by the neighbor to the system and blah blah blah. East Germany was not a good place, like not at all. And when the wall finally came down and Germany was whole again, it was a blessing for everyone here, because finally those guys were you can actually say finally those guys were free again. David Hasselhoff was sitting on that wall that got torn down, and he was singing, "I've been looking for freedom." And
okay.
as corny as that may sound, you know, that meant a lot to a lot of people.
Well, that was also a very difficult part of your history too, though, because I remember, I don't know all the details obviously, but it was just a very difficult time for those, and you'd have families who were separated by the wall, and
it was really hard. You could not go over there, or they could not come towards you. There was a lot of people that went missing. But missing, I mean, they did not came back.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. So that explains why he's a national hero to you guys. But what is with the towel story?
Towels? There are towels. That goes back to the vacation time, right? When Germans and also Brits and people from the Netherlands and also French people, they like to go on vacation, like the all-inclusive stuff. You know, they go to a big hotel that has a pool, that has maybe a like beach area and stuff like that. And there are those nice little sunbathing chairs. You know what I mean? And it became a stupid thing over the years that if you put a towel on that sunbathing chair, it's yours. Okay, you don't need to be close to that chair. No, your towel is enough. And believe me, there was wars. There was wars over those towels. Oh yes, oh yeah. If you moved somebody's, there could have been like all day long, nobody was even close to that chair. But as soon as you take that towel off, you bet your ass somebody's coming over there and is screaming at you. That is his or her swimming chair. And I saw some shit. So, like Brits and Germans go at it and screaming at each other, and beer bottles were flying into stuff. So
I need to record that shit, man. That would make a funny video.
I'd like to think
there's stuff on YouTube. I think you can look up.
I'd like to think that that could apply to like anything. So in case you're like in line for something and you want it, you just throw a towel on it and be like, that's mine. Or you
Yeah.
could be dating somebody and be like, throw a towel over somebody and be like, that one's mine. You take the towel off. I'm killing you.
Maybe no, but that is actually it's for I don't know how long now. It goes on for like 30 years now, or even longer. It's a definite. It's on. Okay, the sunbathing chair war is still going.
I had no idea that was a thing. I know that you mentioned it briefly, Mel, and I was like, okay, I'll figure out what it is when we get on the podcast. I did not know that was a thing. That's not really a thing here. People will literally take your seat and stare you in the eye, and you'll just go, okay, I think that's fine. I'm
I
not a
don't wanna deal with this
confrontational person.
Karen.
I'll go.
Oh no. You will if you take the towel off, you will have a like 70-year-old German woman with like way too much sun cream in her face, like going at you hard.
All
Yeah,
right.
Barry
Don't
said
mess with the German grandmas. Got it.
Nope.
Yeah, Farrah told me to ask me about that because I'll also hear him saying, "Oh man, there's the towel again."
Yep. The towel is down. It's mine.
So okay, so that explains it. Now I know. All right, so let's talk about food.
Oh yeah.
What's some of your favorite dishes?
Good food.
Good food?
Same.
Yeah. I don't have if I would need to pinpoint it down to a cuisine that I really enjoy, then it's Asian. I really do enjoy Asian food because of the freshness. But in general, I just like good food. It doesn't matter where it comes from. If it is cooked with care and you can taste if something is cooked with care, then I just like it.
Well, since Red Vet Burgundy says don't ask him about pizza, what do you think of pizza?
I think it's mediocre at best.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
It's just an open-faced sandwich with some cheese on it. No, I
Bobo,
don't
think
have.
you and I need to fight. I think we're gonna have to fight after this.
Okay, listen. I don't have anything against pizza, but I think pizza is way too high on the pedestal that it actually is. It's just some dough with sauce and cheese on it, right?
I would agree. I would agree that it's hyped up quite a bit.
No.
And also, I've eaten good pizza, like really good pizza, and yeah, it's okay, but can we agree that most pizza joints where you go, and I think that's around the world, same, they are just shit because they can make a quick buck with not much to put in. So if you have a really good pizzeria, put that thing on a pedestal because you will not find a lot of them.
I mean,
It's typically the mom and pop shops that are really that have the good pizza, whereas it's
Yeah.
like the grossly advertised and commercialized pizza places that are really gross, like Pizza Hut.
Yeah,
Just
no, I
things
don't
like
eat-
that.
I don't
I'm
eat
talking,
there.
yeah. You get like the oven pizzas, the one where they actually throw it into like a brick oven.
Yeah.
Those ones are good.
That's a general thing in Germany though. Like fast food, like you guys have that in the states, that you have like a McDonald's or something, or Burger King on every corner. That's not the case here. We have our typical little like Imbissbuden. It's how can I put it in English terms? It's just a little corner joint, or a mobile thing that they put behind the cars, that is there for 50 years now or longer, and where you have your typical German fast food, like say bratwurst in a crispy bread roll with some mustard, or your currywurst. And you have that, and of course Germans, they love their doner kebab. That's something that is really big here. But for my town, I told you I live in like close to 15,000 people town. There is not one McDonald's, not one Pizza Hut, not one Burger King, nothing. Just people just don't eat there.
I live in the South, and the only way we give directions is saying, all right, you're going to take the street down, you're going to take a left at the Pizza Hut, then you're going to go down a little ways, and then when you see the Taco Bell, you want to take a right. I'm not exaggerating when I say people in the South, it's how we give directions. We don't say take this street. We literally will tell them what fast food places there are and to take lefts and rights.
Yep,
It's-
yep. I can vouch for that.
It's awful.
I think it's sad because yeah, like I said, we have like a couple of like local joints, like little snack bars, if you want to call them fast food bars, that are here for ages, and they're there for ages for a good reason, because they have quality food that's cheap, you can get fast, but it's not your processed shit.
See, I'd rather eat that. We have way too many freaking fast food places around here. So is there more of a point to either, if you have to grab something quick, to grab one of those, otherwise, you're making something nice for yourself at home?
What again? Sorry, I had a little thing in my head here. I couldn't hear you.
Oh no, you're fine. So there's more of an emphasis to make your meals at home, or if you have to grab something quickly, you would just grab from one of these little snack places.
Yeah. So most now where I'm streaming so much and work, so my day actually consists of streaming. So I wake up, then I stream, then I have a shower, then I have food, and then I go to work. And when I'm coming from work, I maybe watch 1 or 2 episodes of a TV show, or go on the server for like an hour, maybe just to say hi to some people that I normally don't meet. Go to bed, and that's day after day after day after day for the last 2 years. So I actually need to take a vacation and maybe do something else, but my cooking comes a bit short when it comes to that now, and I don't like it, but I do it. I order more food than I actually cook.
Well, that's why your chat needs to keep you fed.
And yeah, they are more than gracious with that.
Now, I am told that I need to ask you about the burger joint next door.
Yeah, I hate it.
Uh-oh.
and I fucking love it, because that burger joint, I don't know how they do it. It's all local. It's all like local bought and stuff from the butcher, from the farmers, and stuff like that. It's the most amazing burgers that I've ever had. It's like the normal burger. Okay, so listen, the normal burger that they have is a brioche bun, right? Like a nice soft brioche bun. There's like 2 slices of smashed burger that are like really crispy and caramelized, and that is good homemade cheese. Also homemade cheese, all right. And then they have caramelized onions on there. They cut bacon is on there, not like those flimsy little thingies you get in every other place. No, it's like layers. It's like 3 or 4 like thick cut of bacon on there that come out on the side. This thing weighs like 420 grams or something. It is huge, and it only costs like $5.50 or something. It's
All right.
stupid.
Yeah, somebody said he would make chat hungry. I'm getting hungry now. God damn it.
It's
All right,
absolutely
group
stupid.
trip
And
to
it's
this burger
amazing.
joint, because that's what I want.
And I find myself ordering them way too much.
Sounds like Bobo's got an addiction.
Yeah, because it's not. You also taste it that it's not like processed stuff. No, it's like it is really, everything is homemade. Even the freaking burger sauce. They don't have like your typical ketchup or whatever. No, they make it an actual sauce.
Okay, now I'm really hungry. Damn it.
What is a typical German breakfast like?
Typical German breakfast is bread or bread rolls. Germans love their bread. I need to Google that, but I think we have like 3,000 different styles of bread or sorts of bread. And it's most likely we have people that like more sweet based breakfast. They have like marmalades and other stuff on bread, but also you have your Germans that like a good hearty one. So we have like cold cuts on it, and something called Met, and that's where every other one that doesn't know it like goes, ew, what's that? How can you eat it? It's poison. It's Met is raw pork.
I read that, so that was going to be my follow-up question because I read that it's apparently pretty common to eat minced pork with onions.
Yes, and it's amazing. It's spiced raw pork, and you have it on like your crispy bread rolls, and it's so tender. It melts in your mouth. You have like also your raw white onions on your top. It's people because we have this conception in our head that you cannot eat raw pork. You will get sick. You know? But we eat this stuff for like hundreds of years now. there is no problem with that, and it's actually freaking delicious.
I read that. I know that like here, you know, common breakfast is just like the normal eggs, bacon, sausage, and you know, pancakes sometimes. But I was very curious if you agreed with the whole raw pork. I don't think I've ever had raw pork. Have you ever had Mel?
I haven't, but I'm sure if it's been like you know, if it's always kept cold and stored correctly, that I really don't think the germs will form on it.
Oh yeah, there's a big thing coming with that raw pork. It's it's a long German word. It's das Hackfleischverordnungsgesetz.
I honestly just want to listen to Bobo just talk in German fluently and just listen for a while.
It's basically minced meat law. When they do it, it has to be gone in 12 hours. Everything that goes over 12 hours, they need to throw it away.
Makes sense though. So yeah, I can see there being no issue doing that. I mean, and I like to try any kind of food at least once, except for like raw calamari. That no, I'm gonna pass on that one.
I tried.
Oh yeah, I tried a lot of food when I was. I'm actually trained called chef by a trade. So I was an apprentice for 3.5 years on a little island called Sult. That island is like for the tourists and for the VIPs and for the prominent people. It's a fucking expensive place. That's stupid. But I made my Lehre, that's the German word for apprenticeship there, and there I needed to taste a lot of different styles of it, and I like it. I like to taste new stuff, and I tasted some weird stuff there.
And I've read another thing. Is carbonated water a super common thing over there when you go to restaurants instead of just normal flat water?
We love our bubbles. Yes.
I heard that. I'm assuming it translates to silent water. Apparently, the normal water, the English translation of what you call normal water, translates to silent water. Is that true?
Yes. It's not. Yeah. You could say it's called stilles Wasser. Still means silent, and water. Water means or Wasser means water. Stilles Wasser means you could say it means silent water because it's flat. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. And I also read that apparently you pay for water at the restaurants. Is that also true?
Yes.
Here you don't pay for water unless you get sparkling water or carbonated water. But normal water we get for free here. A lot of people on a budget, me, gets the water, so it's free. So that's interesting that you guys have to pay for. Is it like mineral water?
Yes.
Is that why?
It's called Mineralwasser or Zelda. It's with the bubbles in it. I think we are at a place now when you want just normal tap water, they would just give it to you for free, you know. But he drinks that shit.
I'd be okay with that because like I cannot drink. Like if I go to another town, I can't drink plain water there. It really makes me sick because everything gets purified and treated differently based on what city that you live in. And so if I go down to like the nearest big city to me is Madison, you know, over 200,000 people live there. And like I drink the water there, I feel sick. So I have to go for like bottled water.
We have cities in Germany that you don't want to also you just don't want to drink the water from the tap because it's full of shit. Now I have a term that I can't put in English. It's full of
chemicals.
No, it's not. It's actually not chemicals, but it's some cold hard water. It's hard as Wasser.
Like the pH levels and stuff.
Yeah. It's just not nice to drink. It just don't taste too good. And no, but where I live, the water we have here is actually that good. You could fill it into bottles and sell it in other places for the next Fiji water.
Yeah, we've got well, because here we've got if you go a little further north than where I live now, there's a lot of iron content in the water, so a lot of people won't drink the water from the tap.
Oh yeah,
because
okay.
like it's safe to use for cooking, and for showering and everything and washing, but just for drinking, it just does not taste good.
I can do that where I live. That's no problem. I just don't drink water, and some people call me stupid about that, but I am a firm believer in that, and I don't drink water from plastic bottles because I taste the plastic. I taste it.
Oh no, that it makes sense, because like if I have, let's say if I have a soda out of a bottle, it will taste differently if I have it out of a can.
Yeah. So I'm only drinking water out of glass bottles. So I always have like 2 or 3 big crates of water in there, like glass bottles.
Well, and another reason for not drinking from plastic bottles is I don't remember where I saw it, but like there's a huge just kind of a natural tendency for nature conservation.
Oh yeah, we are actually big in this. I think I don't know if it's still the case, but we in Europe we're the country with the most like solar power and wind power out there, because it's just makes sense, right? Why should we put down another like charcoal whatever power plant or gas power plant when we have wind and sun that can take care of it? So the state actually reimbursed a lot of German people that went for it and said, all right, we will put solar panels on our roof, or maybe a farmer has a big old piece of land that he doesn't use, and he puts down like two or three bigger wind turbines there. Then they actually paid half. The state actually paid half of it to make sure stuff like that gets
Oh,
built.
so would that power from that go to like the nearest town or city?
Yeah, that farmer. Let's just say there's a farmer that has a piece of land he doesn't use, and he puts down like 3 or 4 like wind turbines there. He's getting paid, or he was getting paid half or something to build that up, and he then can sell that power that he makes there back to the state, to the power companies.
No, that's awesome, because here, I mean, further up north here, we have a lot of power issues, especially my mother lives about 2 hours north of where I do, and constant brownouts, which is like your power dipping down but not going out.
I have never heard of that term in my life.
It is an IT term. It is an
Really?
IT term, brownout, where your power level dips down, because everybody thinks that power levels just consistently stay at the same level, but they don't, because you can have spikes and I forget what those are called, but you can have brownouts.
That just sounds like a bad night after tacos. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, yeah.
Sounds like a bad day on the toilet, though.
Well, there is that too. But no, this is a different kind of brownout.
This is changing my life.
But damn it. But so there's not consistent, but up north they do try to conserve, like they try not to cut down the forests and everything up there, because the logging industry had come through, and this is back in the late 1800s, and they were clear cutting a lot of the forests. Now there was a huge conservation effort to replant a lot of those trees, and they try to maintain it now so that there's not too many, and they don't clear out all the dead logs either, so to try and keep that ecological balance, because that decays and that goes into the forest floor, but it's also a good spot for bugs and everything, for any animals or birds that eat it, so they try and keep a good balance. So I just kind of felt like that's something else that they do in Germany. to kind of keep that natural balance of everything without just getting rid of it all.
No, Germany is, we have our politicians and stuff like that. Gladly, they saw it and also acted on it. We have a lot of alternative power stuff going on here, and that is really, really good. Because nobody wants another big old fucking power plant somewhere, because that's just not good.
No, I like that because I'm sure like the air quality over there is probably pretty good as well.
Yes. That what I agree on. Where I live, it's actually called a Luftkurort. It's like a health sort for air. If that makes sense.
It
But
makes sense.
many people come up here that have trouble with the lungs and stuff like that, and they just make holidays up here to get good fresh air in the lungs to help them out.
Yeah, because I mean, I thought for my state of Wisconsin that the air quality was pretty decent, but I traveled over into Lower Ontario, and as soon as I was crossing over the bridge into Ontario, oh my goodness, the air quality just so crisp, so clean, and everything else. So like our air quality here, even in rural America, is really shitty.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We also have our like hot spots, right? Berlin, or if you go to like places like Cologne, where like many big cities come together, you will feel the difference between where I live and them there. Like you feel that, but it's not too bad of a thing, I think.
Is it because there's more industry in those areas?
Yeah, and more cars and
Right.
just more everything, right?
Well, speaking of cars, though, I mean, is there more of an emphasis on alternative modes of transportation, like buses or biking around?
We are pretty proud of our train system. The train system, you can go everywhere on train. You don't even have to pay that much for it. I don't know if it's still a thing though. There was the thing, you pay like $20 or something, and you can travel everywhere in Germany with every train there is for the whole weekend. You can just pay $20 and you can go where the fuck you want.
Oh, nice. Because I know that my uncle had actually gone to a university in Germany, and obviously this was way before I was born, but about 15 years ago, his bunkmate from over there actually came to visit here with his wife, and they were telling me, like, because how they use for transportation, like they live in a smaller village, and everything is close enough together that it's easy just to bike around. And to get to where you need, because like we're used to having like big houses, everything is spread out, you have to drive where you need to go.
I mean, I think that's also just the difference between the countries, right? Because your country is really, really big, right? And sometimes you just have like a town or another town that are just like 100 miles from one to the next or whatsoever. That's not the case here. If you want to do it you can really easy. Just grab your bike, put it on a bus, just travel to the next town and go with your bike there then, or put it in a train. That's the problem. I don't know how that is with you guys there though.
I still forget that it does take us like, I forgot how long it takes to drive from one end of of America to the other, but it's definitely like it's got to be at least like a week to get across the entire country. Maybe depending on how often you make stops, but definitely at least a week to get from point A to point B from the East Coast to the West Coast. It's super big compared to any place across the country. I forgot who I was talking about it with, but like apparently in England, you can drive from the UK, like from somewhere in England to like Scotland in like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, in Germany, if I want to go from the north to the south, that is the biggest distance you can get. When I do it on a car, I'm done in, I would say 12 hours. Then I'm go through it.
Wow, 12 hours doesn't even get me from central Wisconsin to where my sister is at. It's like a 16-hour trip, and that's not even, and that's just going from north to south. That's not going east to west. Because I remember,
You don't have the autobahn though.
no, well, what's like the speed limit on the autobahn though? Because we have
There's no.
interstates to go. There is none.
There's none. There, of course, there's parts where you have speed limits, but many parts of the autobahn there is no speed limit. You can go as fast as you want.
And I've read that you guys have a lot less accidents, even with that being the case, than people in America.
That is something many people ask me though. Isn't it that you have accidents like all the time because of like speeding? No, it's because it's just common sense. If you want to just drive casually, you drive in the middle. Okay. If you want to drive a bit slower, you drive on the right. If you want to go as fast as you want, you go left, and everyone just obeys by that. And
So they're
there's
more
no problem.
courteous.
Yeah, because everyone knows if you want to go left, then you better have a fast ass car. If you if you don't have that, stay your ass in the freaking middle.
So T is saying that back when he used to drive over the road, so semis, he could go from the west coast of Oregon to New York Island in a week, and that was driving 10 to 11 hours a day.
Okay, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because I know if I'm going from northern Wisconsin all the way down to central Florida in a coach bus, driving nonstop took us about 28 hours. The drivers, we would take us stop. You know, kids get off, stretch and everything, and they switch
Right.
drivers. You know, it took us that long.
What I do have to say about the German Autobahn is though that it is really fun if you drive on the Autobahn with like let's say 320 kilometers an hour, and in front of you is a police car, and they just need to let you pass because they cannot do anything against it. You just go by them.
That's got to be a good feeling. Normally they'll have police set out in the median between the north and southbound lanes, sitting there looking for speeders, and like even if you're going like
definitely.
even if you're going like 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, you're like, oh my god, don't pull me over.
140 miles an hour? No, I think it's a bit more. Like 300. What is 320 kilometers an hour in miles? That is way more. Let me actually look that up.
So Strom is saying 140 miles per hour ish is what that would be. Oh no,
Oh, no,
186.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh my, I don't know if my car, if I hit 85, my car starts shaking a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, like 330 is like 180 6 or
Oh my god. Yeah, because Strom says going from north to south in Sweden, it's about a 20-hour drive.
Yeah. If you do that in Germany, like east to west is shorter, but north to south is the longest route, and I think you take like 10 to 12 hours also. Yeah, it's around that time.
So yeah, transportation is a lot different here then, because like even in the town that I live in, like I can't go from my house to even get groceries. I have to take my car.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing here, but in every town here, I mean, okay, of course, if it is like really like 50 people village, you don't have the same public transportation in like a big town, right? But normally there's a bus or an underground train or a train that drives every 10, 15, 20 minutes. So you actually, if you live in a big town, you actually don't need a car. I would say this. If you have a family, that's maybe different because maybe you have to take your kids somewhere else or whatsoever. But if you are a single, actually don't need a car.
That's pretty nice. I know in our bigger cities, that's the case too. But normally that's, you know, you're living in one of the really big cities, and so they do provide public transportation. Here, the closest thing I have is I can call a taxi.
Yeah, we've got the big cities where it's like New York City or something Chicago, where you've got all your trains and your buses, and people typically will ride their bikes. Where I'm moving to, it's just basically it's a city, but it's a smaller city, So it's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have like train systems. It's more everybody rides a bike because it's just easier. You're going to get into accidents if you all are driving on the road. So it's a lot of biking.
Yeah, we also have a lot of bikes, like bicycles. Oh, no, it's common. That's really common.
Well, I bet that really helps with the air quality too here, because like even though my city is maybe 18,000, everything is really spread out. Though you pretty much have to take a car, just even go get groceries. Like I said.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do it, but back in the day when I was younger, it was the thing that the family went to grocery shopping once a week. That you had a big day where everyone was bought that the family need for the whole week or for maybe 14 days or whatever. But that actually shifted a bit now. So if I need to shop something, I do it on the daily. Just go quickly in and out, day-to-day basis. So
well, I know like back in the 50s, it used to be common just to go to the store for just a couple days worth of food. Now this is also back when women weren't really in the workforce.
oh, okay.
I mean, there was this huge like you're stay-at-home mom, and some were looked down upon for actually having a job. So the woman was expected to go home and get or go out and get the groceries for just a couple days worth of food and everything.
Mhm.
But moved to more modern times. I remember back as a kid, my mom every Saturday she'd have her list together, and she'd take my brother and I to the store and like, all right, Malika, go get this. All right, next thing we need, go get that. And while she continues to shop, but we were her little gophers.
Yep, it was the same year. But yeah, that shifted a bit now, because I think the whole thinking changed a bit more to buy more fresh and not like everything in cans. And
Well, I mean, is like, do they have like really good supply of fresh foods? Because here, fresh foods is they're shipping it from such large distances and everything
yeah,
that our fresh food isn't that fresh.
okay, there you have that great distance again. Like that they need to travel to get to the locations. Yeah, no, getting fresh food here on a daily basis is absolutely no one can get everything fresh all the time.
I think the frequency in shopping also depends on if you have a family or if you're single. So somebody like me, I do go shopping every day or every other day just to get some fresh items like cheeses and things like that. Versus like a whole family. When I grew up, my mom would get like $400 worth of groceries for an entire family once every 2 weeks. I mean, we would go and get almost 2 carts full for the whole family. Whereas now it's just like I pick a couple items and then I run home.
True. I just saw in your chat exchange student. It was actually funny. We had an exchange student back in the day, and when he came over here, he for the first time he had like actual bread. I'm not talking about that. What's it called with you over there, like Wonder Bread or whatever?
Wonder Bread. Oh yeah.
Some styrofoam stuff. You can just
Not styrofoam.
It's massively like over processed bread.
Yeah, sugared and everything.
Because if we want to get the bread that you're used to having, Bobo, it's called artisanal bread or artisan bread.
Yeah, artisan bread. So like I said before, Germans love their bread. Okay. If there's something we really do love is our bread and our bread rolls. And he had for the first time, like, I will actually say it, even if I get shit for it, real bread. Okay. And he was just baffled. He was just,
oh no, you're not going to get shit for that, because my grandfather used to bake fresh homemade bread, like actually putting the yeast in it, let it rise, the whole works.
See? Yeah,
and that is the best.
Different. Yeah, this is so different. He was so baffled. He was like, so this is how bread can taste like, with like cold cuts, and he was like, ooh.
That's how it's supposed to taste, actually.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's because we've got such a huge emphasis on quick, easy, and cheap. And so all the food that you have thrown at you is cheap and overly processed. Whereas if you were to actually get something, some good tasting bread and some fresh product, you would be more full with less food.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We also have in the supermarkets. We have that processed. I actually call it processed shit, and I get it. It is cheaper, and for people that maybe don't can afford it, it is the way to go. You know, if you need to choose between getting nothing or the processed stuff, of course you will buy the processed stuff. But I for myself changed a long time ago to like need like every day to have like meat. There was that thinking, oh, you have to have meat every freaking day. No, no, you don't. Maybe cut it down to maybe like 3 times a week or 4 times a week, but buy a bit better stuff, you know.
Yeah, we're meatitarians. It's really bad. All right, so T says that their exchange student was Hamburg, Germany. Am I
Oh,
saying that right?
okay. Yeah. Hamburg.
But just like all the options and everything we have too. Like you go to buy bread, there's literally a whole side of the aisle just for bread, and you've got so many. The majority of it is processed shit. You know.
It's like what I really do like in Germany, and it doesn't matter if it's like a big city or just a tiny little village. Every place here still has his old bakeries, and if you are really up, if you're up early in the morning and you need to go to work, you will come by a corner where it smells like fresh baked bread, and that's just freaking amazing. You know,
Yes.
you just come around the corner, you smell that freshly baked bread, and you go in there now, you buy a crispy bread roll or something, and it's still warm. It's just good.
I think we all agree that we are all very much into bread, fresh bread.
Very
Yeah.
much.
So on the subject of food, when I say the word quark, do you know what that is? Bobo?
Quark. Yeah.
Okay. Can you explain to me what this is? Because I've heard about this food item, but it's very questionable as far as what it is. Can you explain to me in your words what quark is?
So quark is dairy. No, let's see. This is the word I have trouble with. Dairy.
You said it right
Dairy.
the first time, dairy.
Dairy. Yeah, it is kind of a cheese, but not really cheesy. How can I put that in? It's kind of a cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
Yeah. It's kind of a cream cheese, but very very bland and sour. In its normal state. It's made out of milk, of course, and quark is actually used mostly as an ingredient that you where you then either put like fresh herbs in it to make it stand out, where the sourness of that thing, it's actually the umami flavor that it has works together with herbs, or you could also make it sweet if you put some honey in there and stuff like that. It's wow.
Okay, so Soul
Interesting.
Warrior is equating it more for us as closer to yogurt, and I'm guessing like an
Yeah.
unsweetened yogurt.
Yeah. You can actually say that, but it's more firm. You know, it's
More firm.
It's like more like cream.
Something tells
cream
me I
cheese.
might not like the texture. I don't know. I'm a very texture person. I feel like this sounds very questionable. I've seen a lot of photos of it, but it's been something where I'm like, what is this?
I'm sure if it was cooked with something, it would be all right.
It looks
You
rough
just-
when you see it, but it's
Do you
actually
just
pretty.
scoop
pretty
it out
smooth.
and eat it out of a bowl, or do you put it on stuff?
If you like it, yeah, you can. But most of the time, it's actually used for like it's Kräuterquark. It means like herb quark. You have like garlic in there and other stuff. You make it just taste better and make the herbs popping out because of the umami flavor that the quark has. And
Nice.
so maybe you put some more milk in it and then make it really really smooth then, and you have it on bread, or you have it with potatoes a lot, with like baked potatoes. You have it in instead of sour cream. We have it with like Kräuterquark, like herbal quark.
Oh,
Nice.
Strom, that sounds like a bad idea. Strom says that his brother eats it a lot. And so he'll eat it raw then go to the gym.
Yes, because it gives you a lot of power.
Protein.
Yes.
High protein.
Is it actually protein?
Well, because
I
there's a
need to
lot
look
of
it up then.
protein in dairy products.
People protein load before they go to the gym here. That's why I assumed.
I I guess, yeah, could be. But it is actually, what has it? Is yeah, I guess protein. It has like quark is 80% water. So on 100 grams of quark, you have 50% fat and 12 to 13 grams of egg white. Right? I guess I got that one wrong though. But it is actually pretty good. Protein, yeah.
I mean, I'd try it. It probably would taste better if it was mixed with something.
Yeah, just mix it up. Do it with like maybe some sweet stuff if you're more of a sweet person, and if you are more of a like not so sweet person, do it with like herbs. Do some garlic in there and maybe some chives and stuff like that. Make it like a bit more smooth with a bit of milk or cream, and yeah.
Nice.
All right, what else you got, Destiny?
So we'll let's. There's another topic. I know earlier you mentioned that I believe you said you were single, correct?
Yeah.
This isn't me trying to lead into a question, by the way. Dating in Germany. I'm curious how that kind of works out. Here, we typically, most of the time, nowadays, it's all app-based. Most people are meeting people through dating apps versus meeting people in person. Is that the same thing that happens in Germany?
I think that's the same everywhere now.
Okay.
I think that's just a generation thing. And I think it's not good if you
Oh yeah, no, I would agree.
Because if I would put it like really blunt, stuff like Tinder and stuff like that are just hookups.
No, they are.
Yeah, you just meet, you maybe have a good night, and boom, that's it. And then you are off to the next one. Swipe.
Are we talking from personal experience here, Bobo?
You exposing yourself?
No, you don't have to answer that.
No, when I how can I put that? I had a long lady friend. I would not say it was a. How can I?
Not quite a girlfriend,
maybe companion,
someone you were interested in.
A companion, yeah, someone that she knew it and I knew it. That would never be a marriage or something, but we enjoyed each other's company. We just had a good time. That went on for long years, like really long. And when I ended that one, I went on that Tinder spree, and I found out really quickly that shit does not make me happy, like at all.
No, because I mean, for me, like before I found Ferret, or he found me, more like it, but I tried dating sites and everything else, and with the age of technology that we're in, like I miss the old-fashioned, like in-person.
Yeah.
In-person interactions, yeah.
Right, you go out, you meet somebody, you talk to them in person. Then you can actually see if there's something going on there. Not like you just send a text here, text there, text. I don't think you can single out something there if everything could go further than just a good evening. You know what I mean? If you meet someone in person, then you can actually, if you spend a bit of time, you can actually see that could lead to something. But all this Tinder stuff and
here we go. Here's here's an American term for you, and Strom knows it too. Friends with benefits.
It was more than friends with benefits. We also live together.
Okay. So yeah, a little beyond that.
Companionship, I think probably was.
Yeah, that would be.
I've had that
word.
before.
We both knew we enjoy each other's company. We really do like each other. It was some kind of love, if you want to put it. But we also knew it would probably not be forever, and it would not be a marriage thing. So it was all good when it ended. So but there was no bad battles.
That's good though. Like you ended really nice.
Oh yeah, that doesn't happen very often.
Not in my case.
With most of mine either. So I'm being told in chat here, I need to ask you about the Rose's story with your mom and dad.
Uh, the Rose story with my mom and dad.
Yes. This is okay. This is from one of your mods. This is from Redbutt.
Feel free to decline. You don't have to.
Yes.
I respectfully decline, and we will not brush up on that. We'll go to the next.
I mean,
subject.
I said it once though, but I will just brush over it briefly. My dad and my mom, they met like really early age. I don't know the exact age though, but I know my mother was maybe like 16 and my father was 18 or something when they met first. And since that day they were together. It was not one day they left each other's side. It was
Aw.
so, and my father actually to the weekends he always brought my mom the single Rose. And he did that for his whole life. So
That is
Yeah.
beautiful.
so he
Well,
always
now
does
I've got to set a standard for my men in the future.
So and yeah, this is the thing I think we as people lost. They didn't always had a good time, you know. That maybe sounds not all romantic and good and stuff, you know. Of course they also had fights and stuff like that, but I think in our day and age it's those relationships that get thrown away too easy instead of working.
I completely agree.
And my father and my mom they came just from a day and age where they if they had problems they just together they worked on it instead of just saying, all right, I'm out, you know. It's completely, and I think it's sad that it came to a place like that now.
It is, because I mean, technology can be great to keep in contact and everything. Hell, it's allowing us to easily talk to each other from different countries. I mean, Destiny doesn't even live in my same state, but there's also those downsides too, where you know the
Of course,
in-person
because
interactions.
I don't have to look you in the eye and I don't have to confront you because I am not there. I can just take my phone, throw it in the corner, done. Because that's how I feel many people see it, you know what I mean. And if people actually try again to work together, and I think it's a strange topic. I am, because many people like this this fast paced
I don't.
whatever.
I'm an
No,
exception, though. I'm a little more old-fashioned. Even though I work
I
in the
mean-
IT world, I don't like the reliance on it.
Yeah, I don't like the phones either. Though.
So I can see Bobo running around with one of those old Nokia brick cell phones.
I like to use a quote that I got from somewhere, but I don't know where. Phones got smarter and people got dumber though.
You're not wrong. All right, so apparently Red is your most toxic mod.
Yeah, she's a little shit.
On the subject of dating too, not necessarily dating, but promiscuity, as well as like nudity seen in Germany compared to America. So here, I think we had the subject with before Mel with the Swedes.
Yeah, we did.
So as far as like nudity goes, as far as what I read, it's a lot more socially acceptable. So you can see like a naked woman and be like, that's a naked woman, it's fine. Whereas here, men are like, that's a naked woman.
Yeah,
Is that true?
Yeah, and I kind of find it awkward when I see like 20-year-old guys or whatever, like, oh, look at these boobs. It's
Because they're not getting out enough to see them.
Way to out yourself, dude, that you don't see tits enough.
where I just say, yeah, it's just a pair of boobs. Yeah, boobs are freaking nice, but you don't need to flip out over it if you just see them. You know, it's just nudity is no. Yeah, that is no biggie in Germany. We have nudity beach everywhere. I think actually we have more nudity beaches than normal.
So, like the human body, it's just the human body. It's not anything to freak out over, there, nor prudeness about it.
No, this when it comes to stuff like that, Germany is pretty blunt and open. So it's just a body, right? Everybody has seen a pair of boobs once, or a dick or an ass. I mean,
That's what I'm trying to tell like everybody here. They freak out over seeing, you know, a nipple here and there. But in other countries, they're just like, that's literally part of the human body. Whereas people here are like, oh, that's a sexual thing now.
yeah,
My brain can't comprehend it any other way.
that is a question that I'm asking Americans actually all the time: is why the fuck are you censoring nipples? It's just a nipple. I mean, what is wrong with a nipple that you need to blur that you need to blur the freaking nipple out?
Us Americans are asking the same thing. I have no idea. I feel like it's just like more of an immaturity thing. I feel like Americans are just like much more immature than people overseas.
It's just, I mean, I can project it to other stuff also. I think like prostitution in Germany is not forbidden. What is forbidden is that you do it without the state controlling the healthcare part about it and stuff. So you cannot just stand on a corner and maybe make a couple of bucks. No, you if you are a prostitute, like every other job, you pay your taxes. You actually get a in some states there's like big Freudenhaus, and it's called in Germany. That's
Like a brothel?
yeah, like like that, and they pay their taxes. They pay their healthcare stuff, everything like every other normal job out there. But with the other stuff also, that they have to go to the doctor I think it's every 7 or 8 days, to get a checkup if everything is fine.
Well, that would make sense, though. I mean, if you run it like in a clean, sanitary, environment and everything, and making sure that the workers are clean themselves,
Yeah,
and hoping the customers aren't bringing
yeah,
stuff in.
and it's like it's a normal job like every other job out there. What it should be, because it is a normal job. You have a customer, and you have somebody that, if you want to put it in a stupid term, you have someone that sells something, right? And you have a customer base. And so that way it's just a normal freaking thing. So yeah.
Well,
Well-
recently, New York has actually legalized prostitution. I don't know if anybody knew that, but they're trying to make it safer for the women because it's not safe
Yes,
here
yes,
for women.
that is the whole meaning why Germany did it back in the day. Because if you have your, let's say, your typical pimp that has their girls running there, and you don't know what happens to those women behind closed doors, because you have some fucking dude there that tells them what to freaking do. No, here, if a woman decides to be a prostitute, it's on her own. Of course, you also have your dark corners, right? I mean, you have them every.
Mhm.
Well, I mean,
But-
people are going to do it anyway. You might as well have
Yeah.
a safe, clean environment,
Yeah.
because a lot of
Yeah.
them here who do work on the streets, they're strung out on drugs either by choice or because their pimp makes them. And
Yeah.
it's not safe. It's a very dangerous job to work in.
Yep. And if you have those big brothels, what you actually talked about is you have somebody at the front gate sitting there that sees all the people that come in and out. And if something went wrong upstairs, they will fucking know that, because they just press the button, and then somebody
That's
comes
where I
up there.
was like, it's nice to know that we're starting to move into that direction. So New York has taken that step where prostitution was so high up there that women were being killed or hurt really bad. And so they were finally like, all right, we're going to make some designated areas that are buildings that are taxed and all the appropriate stuff, and make sure that the women are safe. So I'm hoping that becomes a thing that's common here, but it still baffles my mind. You go overseas, and it's just something that's so common, whereas here it's just almost taboo in a way.
And it's also nobody of course, there's still people that will judge you. But if you are someone that goes to a prostitute or something, that is not a big deal.
So
You know,
there's not much of a stigma about it over there.
Of course, some people still, but mostly the older generations they can begin. But no, it's not because it's a normal business.
Well,
Right?
because here, I mean, there's a stigma about it no matter what area you're from or what age you are, but there is a huge stigma about it. But Hilarity was trying to say that from the Puritan values passed down from the original immigrants landing in the United States, which it's partially that, but it's also a lot of religious things too, because in many of the Christian religions, sex is evil, even to this
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Or
It's
sex
yeah.
outside of marriage specifically is looked down upon. But I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's a natural biological thing,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't be ashamed of it. If you want to go pay for the services to have sex, get your rocks off, because there's also scientific proof behind that it is very good for your mental well-being
Yeah, of
to
course.
get it off.
And I mean, it's not without a reason. It's called the oldest business in the world, right? It was
Right.
always there. It will always be there. And why just not make it safe for everybody? I mean, yeah.
Yep,
it's just
exactly what
better.
Paul's been saying.
Yep, it's ever since the early days where cities and towns started popping up, there was prostitution. I mean, it's the oldest
Yeah.
thing out there.
It's like, do you know the TV show Hell's on Wheels?
Yep, Hell on Wheels. They had the brothels there that followed
Yeah.
the train workers.
Yep.
That's a good show, by the way.
Yes.
All right, so we'll switch the subject so that way it's not so dark. But I just wanted to kind of brush up on that because it always still it's just baffling. I can't wait. I have not visited overseas yet. I've not had the chance, but I do plan on eventually doing that, and it's going to be such a wake up call. So these kind of things I'm just trying to learn and just get used to before I head out that way. So the next subject we can get on so that we can, lighten up the spirits a little bit. Holidays. So what if you had to pick like your top holidays in your country? What would be the most celebrated, in your opinion?
Definitely Christmas.
Christmas?
Yeah.
What are some
for-
traditions that you do for Christmas?
The traditions I do for Christmas, what I love the most is just to get together with the whole family again and all sit on one table and just eat together, have a good time together. And most important for me is seeing my mother being happy that all her children and the children, everyone is there, and she cooks, and she wants to cook for everyone. If you don't try to intervene there or help her there, you better get out of the kitchen because forks will you fly. She will not take that. you know?
Yes. So my grandmother on my father's side, she's the daughter of a Mennonite pastor. So I mean, her whole family line is German. So I had the Mennonite cooking and everything, learned how to do it that way, and she loved to feed the family. You're over, you're eating something.
Yep. That is the same with my.
And don't get in her way of making things either. Now
And-
she'll happily teach you how to cook and help with that, but you're not gonna get in her way if she's in the kitchen.
Oh no. If I would ever try to help her out, and I am good, and nope, it's not gonna happen. I will get the wooden spoon on my ass.
Oh, and she will not hesitate either.
Nope. But yeah, that just makes me happy. Seeing her in that place, those couple of days where she's just fully in that spirit, and that makes her so happy again. That gives me a good.
Let the woman cook.
Yeah.
I love that kind of thing where moms are just, as they get older and their kids grow up and start like moving out of the house, they're just happy to see everybody come back together for these holidays.
Yeah.
For tradition, do you have any kind of specific traditions specific to your family for Christmas? Do you guys go and do anything to celebrate together, or in the past when you were growing up, did you have anything that you guys did?
Yes. That came from my father's side. The children always had to sing some Christmas songs, and he would just sit and listen, just sit and enjoy. You know? It doesn't matter if we were singing good or right or whatsoever. He just enjoyed seeing some children learning some Christmas songs or some poems and stuff like that. And he was just sitting on his couch and was just happy.
So Hilarity is asking about
Yes.
the tradition of a pickle on the Christmas tree. Is this true?
In some specific areas, yes, there is a pickle on the Christmas tree. Yes.
Do I want to ask why or where
Is
that
it a
came from?
pickle? Hold on, wait. Is it a pickle or is it a cucumber?
It's a
Like,
big
why is
ass-
it? Why
it's
is
a-
it pickled?
I honestly, if I would lie if I'm telling you if I would know about it. I never asked about it or something. I just know it's true. There is some areas here they have a pickle. I don't know why, but there is a pickle. But yeah, like favorite time really is Christmas time. Also just the German Christmas markets that are open then at night, and it's super cold out outside, and you just get together with the family and with friends, and everyone meets there, and you have spiced hot wine and your traditional Christmas foods and stuff like that, and just enjoy a good time together. You know?
Now, Mel, what kind of Christmas traditions do you have to compare?
To compare to that, nothing.
You don't do anything for Christmas?
Not these days. So I'd have to go back to growing up because we have ferrets, hence where ferret's name came from. And those are worse than cats on a Christmas tree. So I don't even have room to put a Christmas tree up. We have very, very small house. But as a kid, the tradition would be we used to go out and get a Christmas tree, and then Dad would help give it set up and everything. And then Mom would break out all the ornaments, and then she'd start carefully unwrapping them and like, okay, well, this belongs to Tulio, this belongs to Tequila. And obviously I'm using their Twitch names and not their real names. This one belongs to Malika, and we'd sit there and we would decorate the trees together. And then, of course, Tulio's like a whole foot taller than me. He is my twin, by the way, Bobo.
Okay.
And he is a whole foot taller than me. So I would decorate the bottom half of the tree. And my Tequila is she's 6 foot, so she's over a half a foot taller than me. And so she and my brother would get the top part of the tree and get all the lights and everything on it. And in the evening we would turn off the lights in the living room and just let the Christmas tree lights shine. And we would just sit there looking under it.
That's what we had also. For my father, it was a tradition that he got the Christmas tree on his own. Of course, when he was older, he was buying it, but before he was going into the woods and he was getting a tree. Back in the day, you could actually do that. Nowadays, you get crucified by some greenies, but yeah. So he did that, and he came home, and then it was tradition that the boys they took care of cleaning the tree up or the tree up and making it all look nice. And my father then, together with the girls, he was taking care of putting all the ornaments on it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm big on Christmas too here. We look at a lot of Christmas lights. I'm big on Christmas lights. So, I mean, obviously, like I kind of do Christmas with my friends for the most part. Family, we still do Christmas together, but it's kind of different. It's more just food involved. Whereas with my friends, well, I live by a bunch of amusement parks, and they do a lot of like light shows. So I loved getting coffees and then going to these light shows with friends. Do you guys have a lot of Christmas decor? Do people like drape their houses in lights, and do you have light shows and things like that there?
It's becoming more and more a thing. I think it's swapped over. Some people do it, but not so much. It's more on the enemy side, and I think it has to do with the time is for the family, and the family's in the house, and it's the privacy that everyone just has with their own family, and doesn't need to shine out. It doesn't need to. I don't need to have like 500 light bulbs that
We have
shine out there.
neighborhoods, by the way. We have neighborhoods that will fight each other. Neighbors that will try to outshine each other with their lights. There's movies about it, and I'm not kidding. They're not exaggerating. I've seen this happen, where houses will fight with one another and trying to compete as to who can have the most lights on their house, who
Oh
can
my
be seen from
God.
space.
I mean, but you can also put that that is also some kind of tradition then right now. Can you? Can't you? I mean, maybe.
Are you talking about here in America?
Yeah, there is some. There's
For
some
some
kind of
places, yeah,
tradition.
it's absolutely a tradition to they will literally cover their entire lawn with ornaments, blow up things, lights, any kind of item they can, to the point where you can't walk into your yard, that sort of thing.
That's overkill to me. What I used to like growing up is we'd actually slowly drive through some neighborhoods. And it was encouraged in certain neighborhoods too, where they would decorate their houses with lights outside and some decorations, but it wasn't overly done. And you
Yeah.
you'd take the family in the car and you'd slowly drive through the neighborhood looking at all the lights. Now that town, as well as the town I live in now, they actually have in one of the public parks, they'll have a little route that you drive through and they'll decorate it with lights and everything else. So,
Alright.
and at the end, there's usually a candy cane or some hot cocoa or something for the kids.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, to answer Croc's question, is it legal to go out and shop? Not any longer. And I vividly remember my father saying when this came up, because I don't live in such a big town. Basically, you know the people here, right? And you know the police officers also, and yada yada. And when it came up that my father cannot go out there any longer and chop down his own tree for Christmas, he was like, I will not name that police officer now, but blah 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 can try to stop me. I will just punch him in the face. so if I want to get my Christmas tree, I'm getting it.
Wow. Well, because there's some places here that you can, but they're like designated Christmas tree farms. But usually at those farms, they have a lot of them pre-cut and everything for you to look at, and then they'll wrap it up so you can put it on your car and go home.
Yeah, we have that. We have that too now. So yeah.
Yeah, I live by the beach. We're surrounded by cities outside of the beach. And so we can't go and chop down our own trees because we're by the water or surrounded by concrete. So regardless, we have to get ours shipped in. So it's almost like a tradition here where the whole family goes and finds the tree together. That's kind of more of the family tradition here, is to find the Christmas tree. My family, however, did an artificial tree because we're terrified of our house burning down.
Yeah, that is something my father always was really strict about it. There's no artificial tree on Christmas. That's not gonna happen.
They don't smell the same.
They
Yes.
don't. I love going into somebody's house that has like a real tree because I'm like, oh my God, it smells so good. But now I kind of grew up. Now I'm too afraid to get like a real Christmas tree because I'm like, well, what if it catches fire one day and then, it gets too dry and I don't water it enough.
Oh, you'll know if it's too dry because all the needles will turn brown and fall off. And by that point, then it is a fire hazard. But like you've got at least a good month of having that tree up before you even get near that point.
And if you put it in like a holder or whatever you want to call it in the stands with the
They make stands in the base.
bottle with like water in it, and it holds you even longer though.
Yeah, because that's what we used to do. Like the base that you set it in, and to make it stand up straight, like there's a place for water, and you just kind of top it off a little bit each day, and so it'll actually suck up the water from that to keep itself alive.
Yep. Or like fresh, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's dead, yeah, but it still holds you.
Well, and as you know, Bobo, like the terrain in the U.S. is very different depending on where you go. So I actually spent one of my Christmases in Florida, and it was just so weird because I'm used to like tons of snow, you know, and living up here, I mean, a good half of our trees are a type of pine tree, and so they will decorate Christmas lights on the cacti. Because my grandma would go down there in winter down there. So she lived in like this little retirement trailer park, which was very beautiful because I say trailer park and some people think like gross, disgusting places where people no, this was very nice, very fancy, well maintained. And so they would actually take jugs from milk and cut the top half off, fill it with sand, and put candles in it. And so that each night you can drive around the streets there and it's just lined with candles.
Yeah, I think it would be strange for me too to see to spend Christmas time in a place where it's warm and there are palm trees or whatever. I don't think it would get into the same spirit.
It's nothing interesting. I live by the beach. We barely get any kind of snow. If we get snow, everything shuts down. I'm not even
really?
exaggerating. They see a couple snowflakes fall. All the schools shut down because nobody knows how to drive in the snow. It's awful. But it's sad because like when it comes to Christmas, like I don't get a snowy Christmas like you hear in the storybooks and stuff. It's
Yeah.
60-degree weather most times.
Yeah, that would be not nice for me though, because I'm actually I don't like warmth. I'm
neither.
more the Nordic person. You know, I like it cold. I rather go like 0 degrees Celsius out with like shorts and t-shirt, and I don't have any problem with that. But if it's getting too warm, I'm dying.
Sounds about right. Well, and I think that's why we had a lot of Germans who settled and populated the area where I live, because climate and tree-wise, everything, it probably reminded them of home.
Maybe, yeah, it could be, yeah.
Because I mean, like we get a bunch of snow in the wintertime, 0 Celsius. I mean, that's kind of your average temperature going into Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, Germany is what many people don't know is we have really we have every climate there is. We have summers that are super fucking hot and annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I like to say it's like freaking Mordor, and I have hobbits in my garden with a fucking ring running around trying to throw that ring somewhere. And we have wintertime that it's super freaking cold. We have our autumn and our spring, and I prefer the like spring and wintertime. That's my time though.
Yeah, because here it'll get super cold. We will constantly get like -22 wind chills, and that's not even the coldest. The coldest wind chills we've had are like -55, and that's Fahrenheit, which I think comes out to about -22 Celsius.
Yeah, I live next to the coast though. When it's cold here, it's like double the cold because it's like sea breeze, that makes it even colder. So when I have -20, then you bet your ass that's really cold.
Right. But the same in the summertime too. Like we were constantly up in the low 90s for a good portion of our spring. Actually, there was no spring. But it's same here. It gets super warm in the summer and super cold in the winter. But just
I like that.
Geographical wise too, of what's here for like trees and wildlife and everything is probably pretty similar to where you're at.
Okay, sounds good.
Now regarding, I am a big Halloween person here, or All Saints Day. Do you guys celebrate that? Is that as big as I'm thinking? Here nowadays, especially with the younger generations, we have embraced Halloween almost too much. So over there, is that considered a large holiday as well?
I think it's coming over a bit more, but Halloween was never a big thing here. Like
Gotcha.
not at all.
I'm sad.
I actually don't know where Halloween is coming from, if I'll be totally honest with you.
Well, that
So
actually is
that shows you it's not a big thing here, It's,
Right.
No, and actually, what I've been doing some research because one of our podcasts does land on Halloween itself. So I do plan on covering a history of Halloween. And one of the things that I quickly learned is that over in Europe, Halloween, there's a lot of traditions that have come over to the United States for what our Halloween is today, but it's not really celebrated over there.
What is Halloween compared over here to? Let me actually look this up shortly. Wait a second. What kind of day is that?
Well, it's
I
October
actually don't know it.
31st, and it varies where you're from, but a lot of times it was believed that that's when the veil between the spiritual world and our world is the thinnest, and so like that's when the demons come out. In some cultures, that's when your family would come back from the dead to spend a night with you. So they would
that one.
Yeah, so they would like leave a plate and out on the table. Some would leave milk out or food, so that the evil spirits don't go near you. Um,
You know, I eat my food on my own. Thank you. And my milk is my milk. So
yeah, and Croc's saying Samhain. Samhain is the it's actually a Gaelic term, is where Samhain comes from. But and that's what as a pagan, that's what I celebrate. I celebrate Samhain.
My American ass said, like, pronounced it Samhain, so
I did at the very beginning when I saw it, but being that it is Gaelic, it's pronounced differently than what it's spelled.
Small brain.
Now, I did see it mentioned a couple of times to be good, or the Krampus will get you. Do you want to tell us about the Krampus? Because I think that is German in origin.
yes, the Krampus is some. Wait, wasn't it the dude that steals the children's dream? No, am I freaking wrong there now? Wasn't it
I think that's close to what it was. I briefly read over it because I didn't know too much about Krampus either, but I know it was like misbehaved children. Some festivals would happen, and it would be like, you better be good or else he's gonna get you. He's gonna grab you and take you away.
I see. From the northern Germany part of, we don't have a lot to do with that stuff. It's more the southern part, and I never had any like big contact with that.
So you guys don't carve pumpkins and
no, actually, no, actually, it's not. I mean, it for the younger generation, maybe it swaps over now that many people enjoy that now, or some people. But it was in my youth and when I grew up, and it was never a thing. There is something that calls it's called Fasching, but that is just a time where everybody lets loose, and everyone just gets into different clothing and just have a good time and just piss fucking drunk and walk through the street and just celebrate a bit. And then there is Rummelpottlauf, German it's called. That is when children went through the streets and go from door to door, and they get candy. I mean, I guess it's the same like the Halloween you have over there, where they just got into like spooky outfits and stuff like that. But it was never anything like really widely celebrated.
Interesting.
So, yeah. All right, so Mr. Croc here wants to know about Oktoberfest. I thought this was like an Americanized thing, but do you celebrate Oktoberfest over there?
Again, it's more of a southern thing. It's more the Bavaria area, and yes, they take the Oktoberfest very seriously. And let's just say it went over from tradition to more of a party time with overpriced beer and big tents and many people puking.
Oh my God. That sounds like what it is here. So for those who may not know what October is, and I don't know what the traditional basis is either, is that something you can talk about?
Actually, I think it has to do something with the harvest time, when everything is done, because it's October. Everything is everything got in, every like little harvest got in, and then they just celebrate that they have done so much freaking work over the summer month and the month after summer, and have everything now safe and secure in their storage holes, and then they just celebrate it. That is what I think is about, because again, I don't know for 100% sure, because we never had that in the northern part.
Yeah, I hear Oktoberfest is basically a lot of polka and a lot of beer and a lot of sausage.
Yep, it is. A lot of dindels too. Dindel is the traditional. So if you want to think of a typical German that everyone has ingrained in their heads, then you will think of Oktoberfest and Bavaria, because the men they have the lederhosen, and the nice fancy shirts, and the women have the nice dress with a lot of look into, you know what I mean? And that's the typical German dress there, and I think that's the typical German picture that everyone has in their mind, like we have for the typical American sits on a horse with a cowboy hat and is shooting with the gun in his air, you know.
Right. Yeah. No. If
Yeah.
people think of Germany, they're thinking of the outfit that you just described.
Yeah. But it's far away from that now.
All right. So Paulson here is asking, just in general as well, but if there's any country that you would want to, let's see, if you could live in another country, what would it be and why?
Another country, I would choose most likely Denmark. Because Denmark is overall, from what I know from it, saw from it, and I also spent a lot of time in there. It's just an amazing country. Like I cannot put it in like completely in words there, but it is just country where still, how can I put it the best though, where some traditions still have meaning. You take care of your neighbor. You greet each other when you walk by. It's just an overall nice place to live. You know?
Neighborly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think of those as like, I call them like the 50s values. So post World War II, like, you know, you walk down the street and the man walks on the side of the street, putting himself
Yep.
between the street and the woman, always holding the doors open, you know,
Yeah.
pulling out the chair for the lady.
I actually see. I have two women on you. Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So when before all this COVID stuff, right? I went on a date, and my father always told me the man pays the bills. Man opens the door for the girl. The man opens the door on the car. He pulls the chair out. That has nothing to do with me thinking the woman is the weaker gender or what so freaking ever. No, it's just a common courtesy act. Do you guys think is this sexist to do that? Because I got called sexist for doing it.
Yeah, you get the hardcore feminists who say that, no, I can open the door for myself. Well, obviously you can, but to me, growing up in kind of a traditional household too, but also having a little bit more of the woman power in my mentality these days, I consider that as being respectful towards the woman. I don't think
Yeah.
that's being sexist whatsoever.
Because I did not mean any freaking harm by it. I fully freaking believe in that we are the same. We are equal. There is no weaker gender or whatsoever freaking ever. For me, it's just common courtesy.
That's very strange. I mean, even as somebody who's dating, if I like, I'm financially dependent. I could pay for both of our meals, and I've actually been the person to pay for meals before, but it's more because now dating is not the safest thing. So some women will pay for dates just so that there's no obligation afterwards.
I
But-
get that.
Yeah, and then for other dates, I have had guys where they like pull out my chair, and it's more something like, oh my god, that's so nice, because it's not something that's done, especially here in America. It's not done very often at all. So if they do it, it's something where I'm like, okay, I'm taking a mental note. That's very nice. I don't know. Well, most people, I'm assuming nowadays, at least where I live, we don't expect a man to pay, but if he does, it's just really nice. We don't expect it. I anticipate paying for at least my end. Date goes well, I pay for it. But if he pays for it, I'm like, that's just really nice. I don't know what was up that woman's ass.
Yeah, I guess maybe something just wrong. I was just baffled by it. You know, it was just okay. Then I guess I did something wrong. I don't know what though, but yeah.
Brush it
I
off.
guess
I don't know
you
who
must
that
see-
was, but they had a stick
Yeah.
up their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Destiny there. Like, Bobo, keep doing that stuff, like holding the door for the woman, or even
Okay,
getting out of the car and opening the door for her on a date, you know, because obviously, yeah, she's physically capable of doing that.
yeah, of course.
But to me, it's you're showing a sign of respect. Like, you respect this woman. You know, she is capable of doing everything that you can practically, but I don't know. It's being a gentleman. And I think the art of that is lost on a lot of the younger guys these days. Because normally paying for a date, I mean, maybe coming from our parents' generation, is because the women didn't work as much and the wage gaps and everything. Could be a number of things.
Could be, yeah.
But
be.
I think it boils down right now mostly to respect.
That is something that people do typically in Germany. Like, do they typically open doors and things like that? Because it doesn't happen often here anymore at all.
I honestly cannot say yes or no. But I do think there is still the core, you know, that get those in quotation mark older ways, maybe whatever you want to call it. But of course, you also have that. There's where it comes into play again. What I said earlier. This Tinder generation thing, you know, but everything is fast and swipe, and blah blah blah. Meet, hook up, boom, next one. Maybe that also plays into that. Maybe, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, especially with like, and I can definitely see Destiny's point of view on this, like making sure you're prepared to pay for yours so that there is no obligation, because I think some of these old traditional mannerisms and courtesies need to come back, because if you want to be out there for an actual relationship, there should be no obligation to go bang afterwards. It
Right?
should be like, you know, if I ever had to go back on the dating scene, you know, having a kiss on the cheek at the front of my door before I go in, and that's it. That's where the date ends. I would say that, okay, this guy's wanting an actual relationship, because if they're expecting just to bang afterwards because they paid for the meal, like, no, you're out for a fuck, go back to Tinder.
I totally get that now. Also, what Destiny just said there, because it is maybe some dudes are out there that when they pay for the meal or they pay for the drinks or whatever, then they expect some kind of something getting back out of it, you know, and that's just fucking stupid.
Trust me, I have so many horror stories about it. We're going to go over it when Mel and I do the podcast about horror stories for dating. But there's been way too many times I've learned from the past where if they offer to pay, I'm like, okay, that's very nice, thank you. And then afterwards, like, well, I paid for dinner, so what are we doing? And I'm like, I'm going home. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, do you expect now something more out of it? I mean,
Right. Like, I would have paid for myself if you were expecting something. Like, I would have been happy to. I
yeah,
expected to pay for myself.
And I
yeah,
think
no,
Jeannie's
that's
calling it
dumb.
out well. Our generation was raised differently too, because that's one
Yeah,
of the nice things I do like about the ferret pin, is that we don't have a lot of really young people. The young people we do have, they're really cool and awesome as well. I mean, their mentality fits more with ours, but we definitely can see the fact that we were raised differently to have that respect.
true. Yeah, I mean, my my father back in the day. Okay, this is now like really different, right? But because he also came from a like really different generation there.
Yeah.
He made me I needed to have dancing class, because he was saying, if you take a girl out and she wants to dance, you need to be able to lead.
This
You
is
need to
the
be able to
cutest thing I
dance.
think I've heard all day.
Yep, you need to be able to dance. You need to make sure that the woman has a good time and she feels good in your arms when you dance. All right then.
You know what? The more I hear about your father, the more I like the man.
My father was a really good guy. Yeah, it's sad that he's gone, but I generally think he was a really good man.
He taught you some really good life lessons there.
Yeah, he also taught me a man needs what a man also needs is a good tailored suit. Don't buy any shit from like a supermarket or whatsoever. No, you need to have a tailored suit and need to fit you, and you need to have a good pair of shoes. It will get you everywhere in life, and he's not wrong though.
No, he's not wrong. It's a little hard to do, at least in America. It's really hard to do, but to at least make sure you have a nice dress pair, like a business casual even outfit, something that looks nice.
No, without like sounding mean now, okay? But you always see it in movies, and you also see it in the internet and blah blah blah. But especially when it comes to the States, and please don't get this wrong now again. You see men walking around in those suits that are like 4 numbers too big. They grab them somewhere from this woman, and it just looks fucking ridiculous. Get a freaking tailored suit. That thing will last you forever. But don't buy one of those balloon tents that you it just looks fucking stupid.
Now we do now you don't have to answer obviously, but there is a question on the table of how old is Mr. Bobo?
Mr. Bobo is 44 years old.
Behind me, Ferret says 43.
43. Yeah, he's actually right.
You're only a year.
40,
So Ferret's right?
Yeah.
Wait, how is Ferret right? And
Because
did you just round up?
Because Ferret and Bobo are only like a year apart.
Yeah, no, he's actually fuck. How could I get that wrong? Yeah, no, I'm 40. I'm 43 years old.
Although Paulson says mentally you're 15 years old.
Yeah, he could be right.
But no, finding tailored stuff here, that's usually reserved for businessmen, or you're going to prom, or you're getting married. Like, it's really hard to try and find tailored suits, and a lot of times going out on a nice date, even if you're going to like a super fancy restaurant, you won't see the guy dressed up like that. I mean, they'll have a very nice dress shirt and slacks on, but they won't have an actual suit.
See, for me, it just maybe it's also a European thing, you know. If you have a suit, then make sure it fits you. But because what is the reason that you have a suit if the thing does not fit you? You look stupid in it. If you have suit pants that are way too big and you
look like a Minecraft character if it's not really fitted you.
Thank you. Because yes, suit needs to be like a second skin. It just needs to look slick and good on you, not like a. Ugh, no, I have the same problem, and I talked on stream on that like many times. It is nowadays it's hip to have a beard, right? When I see all those hipsters out there having their beard growing like a freaking jungle out there, no, you look stupid. Take care of your beard, trim it, make it look nice. Put some beard oil in it, wash it. Don't have it like grow out like 7 centimeters
like hobo
on one side, and then it. No, you don't look good. You don't look hip. You look stupid. Trim that thing.
I'm here for these beard tips. I want everyone to hear these.
It's because no, it's just yeah, it is hip now, but you don't look hip when you just have like growing hair everywhere. No, take care of that thing.
Yeah, because beards can look amazing, you know, but just make sure that they're well taken care of. Just like women cut their hair,
right,
for certain styles and everything, guys can do the same with their beard, and they can do it at home. They don't have to go to a salon or anything. I mean, you can, but you don't have to.
Literally, your beard and your hair on the top of your head was literally evolutionized so that way we would attract mates. So if you don't take care of it, you're not gonna. You literally just look like you don't care and you don't want to attract mates. Now, if you're already with somebody and you just don't want to attract a mate, then that's fine.
And
your wife or your husband can deal with it. But if you're trying to attract mates, you better take care of it.
And then there's the poor souls who have Native American blood in them and they can't grow beards.
Oh,
it's just all the time I'm seeing pictures of those people that have those I won't even call it beard. I just call it growing hair everywhere. I'm just shaking my head and I'm thinking to myself, man, just make that thing look fucking good, or just don't grow it at all.
Well, that's about keeping a well-kept appearance, though.
Yeah.
And I don't think the younger generation really cares so much about that anymore. Yeah, like Sly God here says he's Apache Indian, can't grow a beard.
So is that actually true?
Yes.
That I thought that I learned something new now, because I thought that was a myth.
It's not, because Ferret, you know, I mean, you see his character of Al. Al has a beard and everything. Well, Barrett, we're guessing he's either an 8th or a 16th Native American. I mean,
Okay.
he's got, when he moved in, like, he had hair longer than I did, the dark brown where it looks black, straight, gorgeous hair. He cannot grow a beard. He can grow peach fuzz, but he
Jared
can't.
has better hair than I do.
He has better hair than I do as well. But I mean, like, it's the kind of hair that makes all the women jealous.
All right.
And but due to his Native American heritage as well, like, he can grow peach fuzz, basically.
Okay.
He cannot grow a full beard, and he's tried so much.
Yeah,
He's tried.
I can shave like baby smooth in the morning, and in the evening there's like
It's everywhere.
Yeah, same. When I shave my beard, that's exactly what happens.
So you must have shaved right before stream then.
All for you guys, just for you.
But no, it is true about those with Native American heritage, you know, and you don't even have to be full-blooded, obviously. You know, if you inherited that portion of the genes for not growing a beard, you're not growing a beard.
All right then. Learn something new there.
But yeah, it is true. All right, so I think Destiny's just, are you out of topics or questions?
I think we covered everything I had questions on.
Well, something I gave the, because obviously there is still the huge rivalry, friendly and not, between England and America. I am not ignorant to all the many, many flaws my country has. So one thing I thought I would put in here too, and you can do this guilt-free. What are some of the things that we do in America that you find just really weird or might get under your skin?
There's a couple
Call
of
us out.
things. There's a
Call
couple
us
of
out,
things.
make fun of us. I make fun of us all the time. So
Okay,
Roast me.
Okay, so one thing that is a really political thing, and I also talked about to Daniel about that. I do not understand how you guys treat your veterans.
oh,
I
like
do
shit.
not,
I
Yeah.
agree, 100%.
because you have veterans out there that live on the fucking street, and those people fought for your country, and I find it shameful. And
It is. One of the local radio stations that I have here around Veterans Day, they would run this campaign, you know, at a certain time of the day, the broadcaster would actually sit there and do 22 push-ups, because the average right now is 22 veterans a day take their life because we don't properly manage their PTSD. We don't properly try to get them reemployment once they're done being in service. We don't properly take care of their medical, because the VA, the Veterans Association, which you have to go through to get your medical treatment, is majorly underfunded, and it's not even, like, sometimes the treatments that you have to get to.
how is that thing majorly underfunded when you guys spend literally more money than every other country out there in the world for
Because
military stuff?
it's for
We'll
the
just
active.
we'll say eat the rich, because that's exactly who's in control of our country. It's everybody that's in position of money and power. It doesn't matter. Sorry about my dogs. It doesn't matter if the person served our country. It's just the people that are in charge of the money. Some of these organizations that also support veterans don't actually give all the money to the veterans. They take like 80% of what they get from donations, and they pocket that money and donate the rest. That's why, like, I donate a lot to organizations that helped abused women as well as veterans, and I have to do my research and make sure that at least 90% of the money that's donated goes back to the veterans. But it's crazy.
So, sorry to fall into with it, but how are those people then not in jail that take 80% of the cut there?
Politics. That's the only reason. It's politics. They're in the pockets of a lot of people who could make a change and make a difference, but doesn't. And I'm sure it's more of a reason than just that, but at my basic understanding, that's what it is.
They basically make it sound like they are pocketing the money to try to fund their company to expand and grow, so that way they can get more money to the veterans. It's kind of like a blanket. They're open about how much they are pocketing. They have to be. They legally have to be. So it's kind of like public knowledge. That's how they get away with it, because it's not like it's a secret. It's not like they're like, yeah, we're donating 100% and then pocket 80. They're open about it. They're like, yeah, we only donate 20%, which is just ridiculous. If people don't do the research, they're donating to the wrong people.
I say this because 2 years ago or something, I for the first time saw a video and a song by Five Finger Death Punch. There's also a video for that. What was the title again from that song?
I'm trying to remember because I really like that group as well. But
Yeah, where
Vidro,
where they basically pulled out all the freaking numbers there, and I was sitting here with my mouth open. I was like, that cannot be true. Like how can a country that is so proud of their military power and of the all the money they spend, military
'cause
and blah blah, how can they just toss aside those people that fought for them? I really, sorry if I'm getting too like bluntly or I offend you with that, but I really find it shameful.
oh yeah,
Like,
here it is. Wrong
absolutely.
Side of Heaven.
Yeah, wrong side of heaven. Yeah. I really find it absolutely shameful and disgusting.
Yeah, no, we do too. It's something that, we're trying, like, people like me, we can only do but so much. So like I donate portions of my paychecks to different organizations that are absolutely like, I've done my research and they are absolutely trying to support these people, but there's so many homeless vets out there. That's why I say don't go to New York City. It's literally just all of these veterans that have pooled there because there's so much tourism that they're trying to get whatever they can to survive. Even where I live, almost all of the homeless signs is like, veteran, please help. I just want a job or a place to stay for the night. It's literally like, just, you don't have to give me money. I'm just trying to get off the street. It's sad.
Vidro is saying that they have the same kind of problem in Russia as well. Now T did post a link here for Mission 22. Now T, is this just kind of an awareness website that people can go to for more information, or do they actually an organization you can donate to?
The other thing I don't like, see, it's hard to judge because I live over here in Germany, and again, most of the things I know from the US because I don't live there. I only know from news. I only know from talking to other people and stuff like that. But the other thing I don't like about America is that America, and I'm saying it's not the people. I say it's more the politicians and the companies and whatever. And America tries to Americanize every other country.
Oh yeah, they're
no,
as bad as England during the colonial days.
yeah. So I don't like that either. Like try to push your. I'm not saying your. I'm talking about again about the politicians and whatever, trying to push your gender in my country or where I live. No, stay.
You don't have
stay
to
out of it.
apologize. Me and Mel are probably one of the most hardcore women you'll meet. So we totally
Okay.
understand it and agree with you on everything that you're saying.
So that's something I really don't like either. It's,
Because something I'll say too, it's like, all right, I love my country in the sense of what I remember growing up, where it was about community and everything else, and it's not so much about that anymore. And I actually hate our political system, like with this seething amount. We won't go into it because I don't want to start any fights in chat. But no, I mean, I like to keep myself very well aware of we're not perfect. Our empire is sinking drastically. It's like the Titanic going down right now.
oh, no country is perfect. We don't need to sugarcoat that.
no,
though.
no country's
Germany is
perfect.
also far from perfect. We have problems left and freaking right though.
But the pandemic really exposed a lot of the issues that we have here, on many different fronts. Like, no country is perfect. I 100% agree with that. But the problems that we have here and face here, like, yeah, our military spending is more than the other top countries combined. But there's nothing available for aftercare. We're taking care of problems in other countries when we have a lot at home. We have a homelessness crisis, housing crises. Just even paying for rent in some places is almost criminal with the prices that they have to pay. Like, we need to focus on our shit at home.
Yeah, it's that is one thing about Germany that is really tragic. Actually, we got my generation is especially, and the generation now also. It's getting a bit better, but especially my generation got told we are not allowed to be proud to be German
That's dumb because
because of World War II. Right? It is because of World War II. we are not allowed to be proud to be German. But I got out of that slump, and I got out of that what I got told um, in school, and that has nothing to do with being right wing or whatever. No, I'm just proud of what my country has become after World War II, when there was nothing left. Because in Germany there was nothing left. There was not one stone on
Oh
each
no, there
on
wasn't.
the other stone, and I'm so freaking proud of my parents and the generation from my parents, what they again made out of this, because there was nothing. And look at Joni now. We are pretty well though.
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely be proud of what your country has become. Be proud of the heritage and culture that came around from the medieval ages, because you guys were kicking ass back then too.
Yeah.
As, World War II. Okay, both world
Oh,
wars, they're a blip on your heritage. I mean,
they were awful. You don't need to sugarcoat that. World War One, World War Two was terrible fucking times with terrible leaders, and that were
but
yeah.
that doesn't mean you shouldn't be proud to be German, because look at, nature conservation, your healthcare system. We always talk about the healthcare system in
Yeah.
the Scandinavian countries and in England, but I also read an article where your healthcare system now, it's a mixture between those and
Yeah, you
a
can
commercial system.
you can choose. So normally it's this way. If in your taxes you are paying, there is the healthcare within it. You pay a bit more taxes, but the healthcare is in it. So if I need to get a surgery or whatever, it's getting paid for. I don't need to fucking worry. If I need to go to the hospital, I just can go. I don't need to pay. I I think that is really, really, really important, because it sounds maybe a bit like harsh if you say it this way, but one of our politicians back in the day said, of course, we want to help our people back on the feet, so then they can help the country again. It sounds maybe like a bit like, oh yeah, we need to get it back on the feet so he can work again, and can prove abuse. But it is a give and take, you know.
It
Um,
is. Well, because there was a period where I was unemployed for about a year and a half, and it was really hard, and I felt bad about taking food stamps, about taking unemployment income, and everything else. But my thought was, I'm using these services so I can get back into the workforce, and then the taxes I pay go to help somebody else like me.
yeah. So and there's also now the system where you can have a private thing. You pay a bit more, and you get the 5-star luxury treatment, that but it's actually nothing better than the in quotation mark normal guy gets. You just maybe just get a nicer room where you don't have to share the room with maybe 2 other people. So
Well, and I also look at the fact of how accepting you guys are of differences in people and other cultures. Now, I don't know if this is 100% true, because I'm just getting what I know from the internet, but
Mhm.
like in America, like racism is rampant again. And I think we've backslid a little bit too, but just being embracing of other cultures, other people and ideas, we're not good at that at all. And we never have been. And I hear like Germany is getting better about it.
we still have our idiots, of course,
Well,
like
everyone
every
does.
other country has there. um but I think the numbers don't lie. We are the country that gets the most immigrants, that takes the most immigrants, that opens the doors. When it was big in the day, and I don't know if you guys know about it, the Syrian
Mm-hmm.
conflict. We opened the door, and we let millions of people in to just help them, because they needed help. I mean, let's be honest here. And I am really, really proud of my country that we did that, because there's people out there that just want a chance to live in another country and make a better living for them and their um loved ones,
Yeah,
and
because they're just like everybody else. I mean, they want a
yeah.
place to live, they want to be safe, they want
Yeah.
to have their businesses or work their jobs, and be part of a community.
and
Um,
and that way I'm also really, really proud of Germany, because the general sense here is yeah, let them in, let them work, let them help out, let them build themselves a future they want to have.
'Cause
Just
So anyone in Germany that is single, I am also single and ready to mingle.
But there was actually I saw a commercial on YouTube and everything, and there was a bunch of Middle Eastern refugees on a bus, and there was a ton of people like banging on the windows trying to get to them. They hated them and everything else.
Yeah.
And then another group of people comes in, fights them off, and leads them safely out of the bus. And the thing is that the people banging on the bus were Americans. The people saving them were Germans. And I think
Ooh.
and you know, I'm thinking that this was very truthful though, because there's a lot of people hardcore against taking in those refugees here.
Okay, how can I put it that it sounds good? I'm also a firm believer that you have to take care of your country also to make it actual possible that you can take other people in. Does that make sense?
Oh,
So
completely.
I think like putting it this way that you had like those people banging on the bus and don't like them, where Americans and the other one that take them in are the Germans, friendly. I don't like that comparison though, because I think that how can I put it? It looks cocky or just wrong. Know what I mean?
Right. No, I do understand that point of view though. But I think it really does send another message as well of how judgmental we are and everything, because we don't take care of our own here. You know, and I do agree that, you know, in order for Germany or any country taking in refugees to survive, they have to make sure that they take care of their own first. But
Yeah.
to me, it shows your acceptance of other people and other cultures versus where there's a lot of places that do, but on a whole, America doesn't.
I can just put it in terms again that I also got from my father. It's my father again, but also a politician put into words from a German one. He put it this way once. I don't fucking care where you are coming from, what your skin color is, or if you're green, black, white, whatever. If you're a decent human being, then I will gladly shake your hand. If you're an asshole, fuck off.
Exactly. All
Good
right.
thought.
So I think that's where we're going to wrap it up here. And I want to thank you wholeheartedly, Bobo, for joining us. This has been a blast.
Thank you so much for having me, and I also had really fun here. Really did. Bo, I have one more. I have one more of them.
Sure.
You know what? No, leave it.
No, leave it.
No, no.
Are you sure? Now I'm curious.
Yeah. No, leave
Well,
it.
now I want to know. All right,
on.
that's fine. It's fine.
All right.
No, because it would be too political and would be
Oh, okay.
like, nah.
I can understand that then. You
There's a
can
lot
just
of
tell me
things.
after.
There's a lot of things that we hate about America. I'm going to be honest. So
I
you
will.
probably
I
already know
will.
about it.
I will text you. Both.
Yeah. Let us know. Thank you, Croc, for giving
Right.
that shout out. I'm pretty sure everybody here knows Darth Bobo is Rudi on NoPixel. But for those who don't, definitely click that link, give him a follow, check him out. He usually streams in the morning for American times. Paulson says it was about pineapple on pizza, but no, I don't think that is.
Pineapple on pizza is totally legit and it's fine. Okay.
So our next
All right.
podcast is in 2 weeks from now. Destiny and I already have the subject selected. So folks who want to tune in for that, we are wanting to talk about the worst dates that you've been on. And we can keep them anonymous too if you want us to. Just feel free to DM your story to Destiny or myself. We'll throw them together and we can talk about some of the worst dates that have been out there.
I have many.
Oof, I have.
Oh yeah, send it to us, Bobo. I mean, like I said, we will keep it anonymous. If you want us to keep it anonymous, but we can share together our experiences with worst dates. The only one that I've had, you guys have heard about at least once or twice already, is the guy who wore stilettos to our date.
What?
I remember that one.
Yep, I went on a date, blind date. Well, not a blind date. Using the dating services, obviously, this is before Ferret. Met a guy, he said he was a Satanist. Okay, no big deal, because it was about the worshiping the God within yourself, not actually worshiping the devil. Apparently, my real name is very popular in satanic culture. So he liked that. Went on the date. I was wearing some dress boots with a wide heel so I don't like twist my ankle and kill myself. But he was wearing stilettos.
Fuck, man. All right then.
So if any of you guys have a story of just this horrible, weird date that you guys went on, please feel free to DM Destiny or myself, and we will be going over those on our next stream in 2 weeks.
Also, trust us. If it's a terrible date, we won't judge you. If it makes you feel better, I will share one back with you because I can assure you, I've had worse.
Jesus Christ. All right.
But thanks, guys. I appreciate and thank you, Bobo. I appreciate you joining in with us.
Thank you for having either. It was really, really fun. It was.
All right.
I enjoyed that.
Yep, and we are going to continue our Around the World series. We try to do that about every other podcast. I don't know who we're going to do next. I know that I want to get Shinny for Austria. Mr. Paulson, you are now targeted because you are from Ireland. But I can DM you and talk to you about that at another time. But until then, thank you for watching 2 Girls, 1 Rant.
Thank you. Later.
Bye, guys.